What's going on, guys? How you doing? We are starting a day at the races. Queen. Wow. 1976. Okay, so again, this is a longer one because it's the first one. I'm going to go through a bunch of information. It's all just on Wikipedia, just stuff that sometimes these things help me, sometimes, other times just stuff. It's just information. It's just talk. So anyways, Day at the Races, fifth studio album, Queen, December 10th, EMI Records, Elektra in the US, recorded in all kinds of places in England. Band's first completely self-produced album. First completed without the involvement of producer Roy Thomas Baker, engineering duties were handled by Mike Stone. It serves as a companion to Queen's previous album, A Night at the Opera, with both taking their names from Marx Brothers films and having similar packaging and eclectic musical themes. Okay. Album reached the top of the charts in the UK, Japan, and the Netherlands. It reached number 5 on the US Billboard Top LPs and Tape chart. It's Queen's third album to ship gold in the US, subsequently reaching platinum status in the country. Right. Listener poll. In 2006, a listener poll conducted by BBC Radio 2 saw A Day at the Races voted the 67th greatest album of all time. Okay, April 1976, the band settled back in London after a 4-leg, 6-month, and exhaustive tour of their highly successful album, A Night at the Opera, recorded during the oppressive summer of 1975. The band had decided to take a 2-month hiatus. They only occasionally did business-related activities like filming the promotional video for You're My Best Friend in late April. During June, the band was beginning to plan out the recording sessions for the album, visiting recording studios around Greater London to determine where they would produce the album. On June 15th, Roger Taylor and John Deacon visited Sweet Silence Studios in Denmark. The studio was completed only 2 months prior. They put the studio into consideration. This was because of the fresh environment of the studio. After Taylor and Deacon returned from Denmark, rehearsals began June 17th at Ridge Farm Studio, where the band had rehearsed for their previous album in July 75. Due to equipment issues during the first week, the band hired Pete Cornish to assist in equipment maintenance. Cornish and the band had previous involvement, as his company had helped repair and construct new equipment for the band in January 1972. Brian May traveled to Manhattan at the start of July and is interviewed by Circus, in July, for unknown reasons. While the rest of the band were still in Ridge Farm rehearsing for the album, he would return during the middle of the month. That's weird. Queen entered the Manor in Oxfordshire on July 12th to commence work on A Day at the Races. Absent was Roy Thomas Baker, who had helped the band produce their last 4 albums. It was because of a 4-album contract he had signed with the band in 1972. His contract had expired after the release of the band's 4th album, and the band had decided to record the album by themselves with the assistance of engineers Mike Stone and Gary Langan. Baker would travel to America to produce more material after signing a contract with CBS Records. Okay, on May's 29th birthday, according to a letter written for the fan club around this time, while the band were recording in the Manor, the band were mailed items related to penguins. Giant penguin ice maker was also shipped to the band. These items were mailed to the band because of May's interest in penguins. Okay. On July 21st, Crystal Taylor, one of the band's roadies, who would later become Roger's personal assistant, arrived at the Manor to provide... Sorry, the last name is throwing me off, and... First name Crystal makes me think you're a lady, and Roger Taylor, I'm like, did they get married or are they related in some way? Anyways, arrived at the Manor to provide assistance with equipment and observe a session. He originally planned to stay a week. Oh, it's a guy. Okay. He originally planned to stay a week, but on July 28th, the band asked him to stay another week. Around this date, work began to relax as the band had finished 6 songs. Those 6 songs were Good Old Fashioned, Loverboy, The Millionaire Waltz, You Take My Breath Away, White Man, then titled Simple Man, Drowse, and a shorter version of Somebody to Love. As August entered, the band worked on the remaining songs of the album and finished a longer version of Somebody to Love. Work was still relaxed though, and the band would sometimes play billiards or card games during productive days. During a game of billiards on August 8th between Roger and Crystal Taylor, Roger asked Crystal to be his personal roadie, to which Crystal accepted. Okay. This is just some weird side story. Like, why? Okay, cool. Great. Story of how you got your own personal roadie. I'm like, what? what's the significance to this? Sorry. Anyways, the band had booked to play 2 concerts, August 20 and 21st, at the Playhouse Theatre in Edinburgh. The band even stated to Melody Maker that they would be debuting some of the material off of the album during those concerts. The band eventually canceled those concerts because they weren't finished some of the material they wanted to debut at the concerts. Instead, the band opted to do a mini tour of the country during September. The band had at least the backing tracks of Tie Your Mother Down, likely the overdub product, Long Away, You and I, and Teo Toriate, Let Us Cling Together, recorded August 24th, involving the previously recorded material before the band began to rehearse for their summer mini tour the following day. Summer tour made its start in Edinburgh, where Tie Your Mother Down and You Take My Breath Away were debuted to the audience. During the summer tour, the band moved production into Sarm East Studios and worked there in between concerts sporadically in September to overdub on the recorded backing tracks. It was during this time that predominantly guitar overdubs would be added onto the Millionaire Waltz, which still wouldn't be finished after the end of the stint. Most of the songs that were initially recorded in July were finished off during this time, and the rest of the songs recorded in August that weren't performed live were put off until work on the album properly resumed. This is like another one of those where they just go and they're like throwing these dates out, and it's like it's almost too much information that is not important, you know? I mean, maybe to some people or whatever, it's like that, you know, this is like this insane timeline, but it's like, do I need to know about Roger Taylor hiring a private roadie and like the dates that happened? And it's like, yeah, this day we hired this guy and he came in and he was working. And then I was like, hey, you want to be my roadie? Perfect. History books. I don't get it. Sorry. Anyways. Okay. Forget all that business. In the UK, the first track from the album to be released as a single was Somebody to Love. Okay. Reached number 2, Tie Your Mother Down, followed. Reached number 31, A Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, reached number 17. US, Somebody to Love was released and reached number 13. It was followed by Tie Your Mother Down, which reached number 49. Both of these released in Japan, as was Teo Toriate. That's how you say it, right? I've done that one before, which was not released as a single in any other territory. That's why it was popular there, right? Yeah. Album garnered mixed reviews from contemporary critics. Washington Post described it as a judicious blend of heavy metal rockers and classically influenced, almost operatic torch songs. Winnipeg Free Press was also appreciative, writing, Races is a reconfirmation of Queen's position as the best of the third wave of English rock groups. Circus gave the album a mixed review, writing, with the Day of the Races, they've deserted art rock entirely. Oh, they're silly now and wondrously shameless. Damn. Okay. However, retrospective reviews have been positive and more appreciative of the album. Greg Kot, reviewing for Chicago Tribune, gave the album a very positive rating that matched the exact rating of the previous album, and commented how he considers this album as part of the band's artistic peak alongside A Night at the Opera. Retrospect Review Allmusic editor cited Tie Your Mother Down and Somebody to Love along with ballad You Take My Breath Away as the best tracks on the album, and said the album marked a point where Queen entered a new phase where they're globe-conquering titans instead of underdogs on the make. Q Magazine wrote that the breadth of its ambition remains ever impressive, as do tracks such as May's stomping Tie Your Mother Down and Mercury's Baroque 1-2 Somebody to Love and Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. Rolling Stone Album Guide found the album a little too predictable and called it a quickie sequel to opera. Similarly, Pop Matters described the album as a comparative come down and a good but not stupendous record, while acknowledging the band were now firmly in command of the mechanics of pop songcraft, which had yielded them more singles than any previous album. Okay. Classic Rock and Metal Hammers, the 200 greatest albums of the 70s, being listed as one of the 20 greatest albums of 1976. Out ranked at number 20 of 100 in a poll of more than 100 actors, comedians, musicians, writers, critics, performance artists, label reps, and DJs, asking each to list the 10 albums that left the most indelible impressions on their lives. All right, there you go. Not a ton of crazy information, I would say. Okay, so first up, Tie Your Mother Down. Tie Your Mother Down was written by Brian May in Tenerife in early 1968. Wow. 2 years before the formation of Queen. At the time he was working on his PhD in astronomy, he wrote the song on Spanish guitar and thought he'd change the title and chorus later on, but when he brought it to the band for inclusion on this album, Freddie Mercury liked the original and it was kept the way it was written. The song is preceded by an instrumental introduction consisting of a multi-track guitar part reminiscent of the song White Man, followed by a shepherd tone figure, which is reprised at the end of Teo Toriate to create a circle in the album. The ascending scale of the second part of the intro was created by reversing a recording of a descending scale played on a harmonium. The main bulk of the song can be described as heavy blues rock, featuring aggressive vocals by Mercury as well as slide guitar solo by May, who provided most of the backing vocals. Music video was made for the song, based on a performance clip shot at Nassau Coliseum. Okay. There we go. That's what we're getting into. Tie Your Mother Down. First track. This is remastered. Alright, let's get to it. Bam. I vaguely remember this kind of sound in Teo Toriate. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. This is I think this is probably a good live song, right? This is like a good just rockin' live song. I wouldn't say it's specifically special. I wouldn't. It's fine. Like, it's well done. It sounds good. Everything's played well and sounds good. All that kind of thing. The guitar sound, all the things that you expect from Queen at this point. They sound good. It's produced well. The guitar tone's really great, right? Freddie is awesome. The song is just kind of like it said, just like a blues rock song. That's it. Again, this is probably, I can see this going over well live. For like an album thing, especially for a band like Queen, I'm kind of like, okay, this is fine, but like, you just gave us the Prophet song in Bohemian Rhapsody, That's not to say that every song needs to be that, but that's where this song lays within that. It's fine. It's totally fine. Again, if I were there and they played this live, I'd be like, yeah, that's great. That's cool. And you get guitar solo, you get, like, it's like a rockin' tune, right? Great. That's really that. And it's not like flooring me or anything. There's nothing in there that's like groundbreaking, right? We're in 1976 and you're doing this, right? Like, it's already been happening the whole decade. So, plus, and yeah, okay, he wrote it in 68 because he was already listening to, when did Zeppelin 2 come out? In 69. Okay. So, I don't know. I'm just saying that music was already happening. 76 is kind of late for that. I'm not trying to, maybe I'm going too hard on it, but I just want you to know where I'm coming from. It's like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. Is it a single? I don't know. I guess that depends on what's on the rest of the album. I'll say here, I have done some of the songs on this album before, or I know them, I should say. This one I didn't know. You Take My Breath Away, I have done like a solo piano. I don't know, maybe it is solo piano, but like a solo piano live. Freddie Mercury, You Take My Breath Away, that was extremely nice. Like, really, really nice. Like, I thought it was really good. You and I sounds familiar, but I don't know that I know it. Somebody to Love, of course, I know that song. Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy, I definitely know that song. And Teo Toriate, I've done before as a donation request. So, that's what I know. Yeah, this was fine. It was fine. Is it a single? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I already know that Somebody to Love and Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy were singles. That makes sense to me. This one? Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Anyways, that's that. You Take My Breath Away is up next. I'll catch you then.